Going on, everybody? Just fixing a camera up really quick. Forgot to turn on my palette camera because I'm bad at streaming. Let's see. Here it is. I have a new palette today. It's freaking awesome. Alright, so this is a plein air I started. 2 days ago now. And just been having a lot of fun with it, so been finishing it up. And at this point, I've actually completely looked away from the reference photo. And I'm just finishing it up by imagination. Imagination. And pretty close. A few of the foreground trees are completely made up, but I like to do that. Sort of a way of like practicing at the same time as also trying to paint a subject. Found the best way to make the sunny colors recently. It's raw sienna and some cadmium yellow deep, they call it, which is just like yellow with a tinge of red in it. And then you grab some white, dull it down a little bit. Sometimes you find yourself having to toss a little more red in there, but yeah, something like that. You draw trees beautifully. Thank you so much. I think one thing I gotta work on with my trees is I'm trying to learn a little bit more, like more different trees, like different species. I feel like a lot of my trees look like the same tree. I think that would... Yeah, I got my naturalist partner over here. She's gonna snap me into shape. Made that a bit too thin, but I'll just go ahead and commit. I didn't like the leaves I put over here, or most of them, so I'm just gonna go back over them a little bit. It's not quite there. Cleaned it out by the river today. It was beautiful. Most perfect day you could ever imagine. Sometimes I grab a little burnt sienna on top. Let that bleed down into it. Something about that little dash of that yellow makes it right. Otherwise it's just a little too red. Hi, I finally get to catch a stream. Glad you had a perfect day. What's going on, Stephanie? It's about time. Wondering where you've been. No, I know you said you had company. Good to see you here. Do you still have company? Did they move in? There's the color. I practiced mixing it like 100 times today. So think it's just looking a little different, and yeah, I'm just gonna go over that. Screw it. It's looking a little different inside. I'm gonna dry that up. You can see how it's turning into a completely different color. Or it almost even seemed too yellow at first, but as it dried to the right color. That's something I've had to really practice with gouache, and that's very difficult with it, I would say, is the transparency factor with like how colors are that are light dry darker, and then colors that are dark dry lighter. Right, your Uncle Brian just left 2 days ago to catch up. So just trying to catch up on chores and sleep. Nice! Where does he live again? What state? I always forget. I say that's definitely one of the uncles I've seen the least. Uncle Brian. Like total in life. Make a little bit more yellow of a version I was enjoying throwing into. I've been using the quill brush a lot lately. Just because I wanted to learn it. And something that's nice about it is you can like mash it and change the bristles around, and they sort of like stay. So it's sort of like a 5-in-1 brush. So it's like you can fold it like that. And once it dries up, let me dry it up more. You'll see. Once it dries up, it sort of stays like that. Hey, what's going on, Ruben? Thanks for liking the stream, buddy. Good game today. Good game. But you see how it stays like that? That's good for dry brushing effects. You can drag that across. And another way you can do it, you can come in and just sort of fray them out like this. And now you almost have an instant fan brush for leaves and stuff. And they're really chaotic, so they're actually really good for leaves. You want that randomness. So it looks like a nature bit. Florida. Ah, right. He's the most like Steve. They're so funny together. I can picture it. Will you download it later after the broadcast ends? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Are you saying the stream? Sometimes I do, if I want to turn it into a video later. But not always. Sometimes I like to keep the streams as like a, if you were there, you got to experience it kind of thing. Just had to be there kind of thing. But I think some streams, what I do sometimes, they're more like a demo, walking through a beginning to end. And when I do those, I like to download them. But either way, if you want to watch it later, it always saves it on my YouTube. YouTube, out of all of them, saves it forever, and then Facebook deletes them after 30 days. And it's gonna be a short one tonight. Just trying to stay committed to the Fridays and Sundays. Stay painting. Just trying to finish up this one. It's pretty close. Might even get to peeling the tape. I don't know. No promises. Speaking about the tape, it's kind of already peeled, unfortunately. It's, this paper is so good that it even repels tape. It's a bit green to still. Grab some of this blue and see what happens. That's very strong. Volume levels are good, everybody? I think I got it dialed pretty much these days. We're just experimenting with a shadow color here. I don't want it to be too thick though. It's a bit too blue. This is so much better than that other palette I was using before. It's got these basins so you can fill it up with water nice. Let's try this one. See a nice little transparent edge to it. Make this one a little darker. And I'm going to take my spray bottle and give it one little spray. Same here. And just let it sort of feather out. And I've been adjusting these shadows a bunch, trying to get them right. Just playing around, just trying to find something I like. The detail phase is slow going, slows the painting down. But I like to relax into it, not try to rush it. The beginning of a painting that with wet on wet media is more that fun part. You gotta kind of work quick and watch all the magic happen. Then it slows down a little. You gotta focus on everything. Hey, what's going on? Kirsten's in chat. There needs to be something hiding in the woods. I like it. A Bigfoot, of course, yes. How did I know that was coming? My microphone volume okay, by the way. I'm gonna try to get this in one sweep. I'm gonna fix those little grass blades. Those to be soft. The shadows up here get a little softer because they're getting farther and farther from the ground. Hey, it was Kay's idea. It is a good shot for a Bigfoot, though. Not gonna lie. Just some leaf shadows here. That green. It's okay. Hair dryer is so key. Fine, Morris should make an appearance then. Yeah, he hasn't been around. It's been a while since Morris has made an appearance, huh? Huh? Morris has a lot of fans. I think it'd be easier to do a Bigfoot considering that we're not up close to the ground and Morris is tiny. Just gonna go back some sunlight here. Push it a little brighter this time, but not put it everywhere. I'm gonna try to make it nice and soft. Let me try one experiment back here. It's good to experiment. Get a little spot on your painting. See how it looks. Might have been a little crazy. Let's go ahead and do this. Soften it up. Sometimes your finger is a good blender. Just want to bring out some of these extra bright spots. Kind of peek in and out. It'll happen over here too. And I bet I have a little nice effect here. Take my brush, like I was showing you before. I'm going to fan it out. Just like that. And then I'm touch just little tips of the bristles. And try to just draw a couple little pieces of grass that are getting hit by that sunlight. Just makes the ground feel a little more fluffy. I'm having lots of fun working all these light spots in. And right there. And toss another one here. Make it a little bigger. Oh, camera did a thing. Ah, my camera died.
Oh, no.
It's okay. This happened last time. Yeah, it just takes a second to turn back on. But what I'll do is I'll put you guys on a time-lapse video. Be right back. Sorry about that. Alright, sorry about that. Camera's back. Just forgot to plug it in on accident. Just gonna grab some paper towels right here. This palette's awesome, by the way. It's a wet palette. Kept my gouache feeling like it's right out of the tube for like 4 days straight now. When I have it open, I just gotta stay on it with the sprayer. But once you close it, it just keeps. Hope you have your apple juice too, Stephanie. Rocking some of that apple juice tonight. Gonna feather some of the edges of these little light blobs. I'm really just trying to make it feel bursty. I think that's something I keep struggling. Like, I know I get close sometimes, but I keep finishing paintings and being like, it's not quite as bright feeling as I wanted it. So I'm just like experimenting with pushing certain things, figuring out where to place the contrast properly. And every subject's different. It's like a different puzzle. Gonna fix something really quick. Just fixing the saturation on the palette camera. I realize you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Now you are. There we go. Oops. It's a tap lamp, so sometimes you can just turn around and turn it off on yourself. A boop lamp. Man, burnt sienna is another one of those colors that you just... so many uses for it. Alright. I want to toss one of these bursty light spots right here. Right here. Make it a very clear shape. Bring it down just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my spray bottle, spray it on the bottom. And play around with the edge of that. Make it a little softer. And that will dry darker, watch. Show you. Trying to feather the edge of those shadows, just so. It's good to push and pull the paint around from the color and then also into it. Grab more of this color while it's wet. Toss another one right here. Oops. Same thing. Keeping it soft. Really want that light to be bright coming from the left there. Gonna have to come in and paint over some of this. I didn't like it. Which is still a bit wet. Let me dry it up really quick. Okay. A little more white. Good. Just covering up that little color mishap. Going over the shadows a little bit so I have another chance at drawing them. Reshaping this a little bit. You can see with paint you can cut back and forth. I believe this is the right color, it just looks a little yellow when it's wet. Watch. Dries right down to that pinkish red we want. Alright. Take some Prussian blue, I'm going to toss it up here. And I'm going to dull it out with some burnt sienna. Even grab some of this. Burnt sienna didn't quite take it far enough. There we go. Bring a little bit of that blue back now. What happens is you have too much yellow in there. Start making a green. Grab some indigo. I'm playing around with indigo. Color I don't use much. Out of the tube indigo. Soften it a little bit. I realize these shadows look better when they're all the same color. I'm gonna match that there. And have that guy go off the canvas. Again, I've looked away from the reference photo for like this last half. So, just trying to find my own design with it. Just got a bit too crazy over here. Just gonna tone it back. little more white. Didn't have enough white. I'll feather my brush again while that's drying out. And, oops. Helps to make it flat, too. It's not as good as a normal fan brush, but I like that it has more chaos than a fan brush. I'm just going to paint up little pine needles and grass bits above these roots, or these shadows rather. The brush has to be a certain kind of dry for it to stay too, like that. I'm lightly dragging it through the paint on the palette because I don't want it to combine the bristles again. And try not to make them too straight. Be a little chaotic with them. And I'm trying to be impressionistic with this one and not put them everywhere. Just in spots where it counts. Sometimes the brush goes back and you gotta refan it. Again, this is me just trying to use the quill brush more. Figure out what it can do. Lullaby, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Still working on the lighting. Trying to get it more the right color. Go ahead and spray my colors again. Get more paint so it covers. It's easy to be too thin with it sometimes. Just a dash of burnt sienna. Find a little bit darker of a version of it. Let me see if this works. Maybe I realize maybe it's too bright on the right. A little darker. Something like that. I didn't read it all on your end. On my end, I saw the color. A little more red. Push it a little more. Oops, that was too much, but see what happens. Just gotta be sure I don't beat out the white too much. It's a little red. Bring a little more yellow back into it. But I guess that kind of looks interesting. Sometimes you find that, like, toss a color up there. It's not necessarily the right one, but it's an interesting one. Make sure to go right up to that shadow's edge. Oh yeah. Put some cool pictures in the Discord, huh, there, Steph? I'll have to check them out soon. It's almost like a nice warm shadow color.
The photographs of the lake, of this lake, about an hour and a half away, and it goes up your own.
Wow. From where they are, it's an hour and a half away?
Yeah. Really cool.
Huh.
Interesting. Landscape.
Sounds like something that's paintable.
Yes. Looks very paintable.
I gotta paint one of Stephanie's pictures from her trips one of these days. Her buddy Tom too. I think it's Tom. A little red. Keep overshooting it, like grabbing a little bit too much paint on the brush. These pictures in Discord are really cool. Does look like another planet. You know I'd have to have that painting. Alright, I'm gonna have to dry this up quick here. Almost makes the ground look like it curves down a little bit. I like that. That was an accident. Happy shadow accident. Oh, look at that. Just needed to dry. See? The red's in there. Actually, I like how that happened. Not mad at the red color. It's sort of like with the contrast the left side needed to be brighter. See, sometimes it's not about making something brighter, it's about making something next to it darker. And that's actually the problem. Find myself playing around with those values all the time. I'm going to switch to a detail brush here. Although I do like the fanned out quill for making those grass marks. I kind of want a little more control. So, just going to grab my small round brush here, if I can find it. There we go. and just make some little grass pieces. It'll take a little longer, but I think they'll look less, I don't know what word I'm looking for. It almost looks like they got stamped sometimes by like the end of a brush, if that makes sense. So you can tell. I think that's maybe the tricky part about like having a brush that makes leaves for you or something, is at the same time it makes it easier, you also have to like figure out a way to hide that you're using that. Yeah, maybe it would be interesting to throw in a couple dark ones. See what that looks like. I think it just adds that little layer of depth to there actually being something there. It almost like connects it to the ground. It's easy to go and do it on every single one. I recommend against that. It can sort of kill the organic feeling to it sometimes. Leave just enough to hint so the brain can take it the rest of the way. Alright, too much shadow color. Go back to the light. And it's worth even grabbing a little bit of white. Finding a couple really bright ones. Just gonna do my every minute and a half spray here. It's only while the palette's open. Bring it off to the side here. It's probably already bright enough. I want a little more of this yellow in it. It's raw sienna. Brightens up to a nice, calm, sunny color. A little bit of tweaking. Hey, what's going on beneath Twisted Ferns? Good to see you here. Imagination, good to see you here too. We got a killer painter in chat right now. We recently did a plein air thing at Montgomery Bell, and she painted this awesome turtle and stole the show. Much deserved though. Very much deserved. I remember looking at it and being like, "Yep, she wins." She's amazing painter. And if y'all haven't checked her out or followed her page, be sure to go follow Beneath the Twisted Ferns. Right, I said that right. Yes, Beneath the Twisted Ferns. Huh? Oh, Beneath Twisted Ferns. I'm sorry. No, the. Appreciate you hopping in. This was a plein air at Bowie Park I did a few days ago, and I started having a lot of fun with it, so took it home to just take it the rest of the way with my imagination, see where it goes. It's like a good template. Oh, stop. No, I'm not gonna stop because you're really good. They rent paddle boats, and I want to go back to do that so bad. Wait, the lake you're talking about? Ah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'd even grab more white. There are a couple really bright ones here. See how that looks. Just getting smashed by that sunlight. Maybe a couple here too. This is my channel. Please suggest me how to do painting. I'm not sure what you mean. Please suggest me how to do painting. I assume that you didn't mean to type it like that. Well, that's what I try to do a little bit every time I stream, is suggest how to paint. But it's all in my style. I'm a little bit slower. I like to do it in thin layers. I don't want to get too crazy with the fuzzy edges here, but my goal is to like prevent having to draw all of it, every single blade of grass. Like basically you see the edge of this shape ending as a grass silhouette, and that signifies the rest of it feeling like grass. Still a trick. It's a way to be a little more graphic too. You'll see it happen in splash art a lot with like video games. It's a very style I like, something I've seen many times that I want to apply to my paintings. Have you seen this naturally, or is this your imagination? So, a little bit of both. Probably this here, but took my paintbrush, like this area, I was plein airing in person with my easel. And then this, probably like this boot, a boot shape here on the left, I've made up out of my imagination. And I like to do that, unless I'm really trying to get something I like that I saw. I like to look away here and there and try to invent a little bit of it myself. I feel like it strengthens my visual library a bit more. I also feel like I'm killing two birds with one stone. Like I'm not waiting to do either a pure out of my imagination or a pure reference. It's kind of like a hybrid between the two. And then when it comes time to doing purely out of your head, muscles already got some exercise. It's a little bit easier. I added a little bit too much water there, but it's okay. Oh, I grabbed the burnt umber instead of the burnt sienna there on accident. They're close enough. A little bit of yellow will bring it back in the ballpark. It's not the right brush for this. Grab my quill brush, sort of scoop it back up. I'll grab some of this bright yellow and let it mix in too. I sort of let everything mix on my palette. It creates a lot of color variation for me on the go, without having to think about each individual color. That intuition. Exactly. Will you please give us a class of painting? Yes. I can make a stream. Set it up more like a demo, if that makes sense. Where we have a subject. We'll put the subject in Discord, so you all have access to the reference photo, and then you can all paint along. I'll do my best to show you how I do it. And I'll probably be doing it through paint, but you can bring any medium you want, you know, if you're colored pencil or digital, whatever you want to use, it's okay. I'm going to experiment with bringing a little bit more burnt sienna in here. Now see what this looks like. I'm gonna even feather the edge of some of these midtones here, in the hopes to get the effect that kind of pine needle-y, basically. I'll let some of these overlap onto the thing. Is though, this is a shadow though, it's not a root, so I think that's one thing I'm crossing the line a little bit too much here, is making it look a little bit like a root. But I think I'll be able to fix that by just doing another very transparent shadow wash over that. I like this warm shadow color, something that feels right about it. I'm always tempted to be adding blue, but there's so much red in this forest with all the red pine needles and everything. That's what kind of struck me about it. My name is Bobby, you may call me Bobby. Okay. I'm from India. Nice, man. And just kind of like trying to subtly hint at the ground is textured, so it's not this pure tone. And I can even go back over this darker red with some of the lighter color. Actually, so that's not light enough. And you know, this is something you can take to the max if you want. Rendering every tiny little leaf and thing on the ground. If you look up MSJ painting, that's the guy, man, who does that. He's crazy. Paints every leaf on the tree. Sometimes with these tiny brushes, it helps to like drag and roll them. Gets a lot more paint on the brush. And I'm making these transparent and very subtle on purpose. I don't want to draw too much attention to them. It's like a touch thing. Almost like questioning if you're seeing it or not. Alright, I have to go for my classes. I'll join you soon. Really appreciate you hopping in, Bobby. Thank you, man. You have a good rest of your day. Or night. Wait, no, it's probably day there. I don't know how far away that is with time zones and stuff. Alright, just kind of backing away from it for a second. I want to grab some greens. At this detail point in the painting, I'll find myself hopping around a lot. Not really just working on one particular section at a time. Because, I mean, at this point, the painting is basically done. Like, the main lighting, main shapes. So, I wanted to bring these green leaves back here. A little bit. Just to kind of hide the edge of that tree. But I don't want to go too crazy. If anything, I can even come back here with this color and feather that up over the tree edge a little bit on the bottom. Sort of connects it to the ground a little better. And, you know, and where this is actually pine needles, but you know, it's my painting. I can make it brown crabgrass. Makes it look a little more comfy. It's like it's like looks fluffier. Because pine needles kind of lay flat on the ground. And paint was a bit too transparent. Sometimes I go a little too thin. want to grab a short round brush, it's called. Just saw it recently. There it is. What a short round looks like. Has a fatter tip to it, and not so much of a point. It's nice for feathering and blending, doing like small washes where you're not covering the whole page. Oh, my bad. Have a great day too, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do my intermission spray. See how many days we can keep this gouache going. Alright, I want to get a heavily watered down bluish shadow color here. Grab some Prussian blue. And add more water. More Prussian blue. A little bit of the raw sienna with the burnt sienna. My table's at a little bit of a tilt here, so something like that. I'm going to add more water. I want this to be a thin wash. My shadows are right at the point where I'm pretty happy with how dark they are. Don't want them to be any too much darker. So I don't have much more room for layers. But sort of wanted to just tone down this grass a little bit. Just where it gets a little... Because the thing is, if this grass blade's leaning over just enough, it's going to get into that shadow a little bit, and the shadow will actually be hitting the tips of the grass blades, sort of like that. That's what's nice about transparent media, or making your media transparent, is you can let things dry and then kind of do these little effect washes over the top of them. And because transparents lose a lot of what they get, like what they look like when they go on the canvas after they dry, it ends up being nice and subtle. I don't mind that all my shadows here have a lot of color variation. I almost like that these two here in the middle are a little more blue. I don't know, it's not something I did on purpose really, but I was kind of on the way to getting them to this shadow color, and then I realized I liked the way it looked, so I just stopped adding to it. Okay. It's a subtle thing. Just a little more blue in that. Go over those completely, redo them. It's all good. That off the canvas. Maybe right there. Almost, I like adding these little splashes of blue in shadows rather than making the whole shadow blue. Just here and there. Maybe one in there. Maybe one in there. Maybe the base of the tree. We can push it and see what happens. I'll go really blue here. Give a little, been meaning to give a little overlap to these trees anyway. Make this a connecting shape, if I can. Blend it out. Dry my brush off as much as it can go, and pull the original tree color down a little bit. Clean my brush. and do the same thing. Kind of want to hide the edge of that tree. Something I like about it. But I think right here we can get this little splash of light. Right in here. Give a little texture to this tree. Just where the light is. I actually had this tree textured a lot more already, and I decided to kind of wash back over it. Make it more vague. I mean, you could spend 100 hours on this, painting every little piece of bark. You wanted to. My cat's being cute right now. Silly Marcy. It's funny when you hear her through the microphone, she sounds like a little baby. Alright, grab some of this bright green here. Cool. Ran out of my color. Remaking it. Let this be muddy down here. Use that for other stuff. Bring it up on the side. I like to have every color kind of interacting with every color in my palette, just in case. Sometimes I find a cool variation that I wouldn't have thought of by just trying to mix it linearly. Oh, through the white paint. Luckily it landed there. Create a little white spot here. Grabbing a lot of paint just to have it there for a while. Don't have to mix it again for a minute. My white got a bit dirty here. Also the reason I'm scooping it all out. Let it just all fall down there and mix. I'll sort of split my pools into different lights and darks. So I'll have like the lights on this side, then I'll let some dark paint bleed in over on the right. Kind of keep them separate, but you can see all these cool swirls and the way all these paints mixing. Get all these nice color variations. It almost looks like marble or something. Again, I know this one is a little more boring today. Not like starting from the beginning of a painting. But just want to say hey, you know. Show up, you know. Show up to work. Have a good attendance. A little more dash of that yellow in there. Okay, clean my brush. And try to find my chisel brush here. There it is. Tiny little flat brush. I love this thing. So glad. I realized the palette is such a big part of the process, so it's worth having a camera angle on it. Especially if someone's trying to learn how to paint or something. I'm trying to do a little bit of dry brushing here onto some of these trees. Just make them feel a little bit brighter. Then I'll call it there. Don't have much more time. Little painting sesh. I take a sponge and dry it out in the sponge as much as I can. And then I end up just kind of dipping it back from the sponge. I find that better than going back to the palette and grabbing more paint. Just little tricks I've learned along the way. And it's still not dry or bright enough. So I just get more paint, bring it into the sponge. Sponges are a great tool for like the wet media stuff. Still even too wet. Just try a little spot here. Just to sort of get a little bit softer edges. I'm going in circles because it tends to give a softer look than cross-hatching. And I'm just sort of trying to take the same color and blend it off to the side here. Sometimes a little sun will peek through a leaf, get separated from the main highlight a little bit, like that. Should get some direct paint there. And then just let that dry out, hopefully into a dry brush situation here. I don't know. I'll be playing with that tree a bit more before it's to my liking. Just wanted that highlight to go right up to the edge. I think the palette is its own little piece of art, yeah. Get a nice little splash of light over on this one, maybe. Something like that. Dry off the brush. And see if we can just gently feather the edge. There we go, that kind of feels a little bit like sunlight. Take some pure white, give it a little tap, a couple little spots of pure white. really can go a long way. Something like that. Sort of hints at like maybe a little tiny reflective thing, or a couple things on the surface of the tree. Sometimes you have little white mushrooms, you know, just reflecting that sunlight brighter than anything else on the tree. All sorts of ways to like bring life to nature's things. You see, it already dulled out a little bit. Bring it back. Won't cover up that white spot. Feather the edge. Nope. Something like that. I think I was picturing it happening up here too. And it's nice because it's going to go right next to this dark spot. I always try to find alternating dark and light spots in my paintings. Or opportunities, rather. Take some more. There's a glare on it for me too. You won't be able to see the color until it's 100% dry. That's another thing I like about working with these really matte mediums too. Like the lighting in your studio is less annoying. You're not leaning around in your chair trying to look away from the glare. Take out my heat gun really quick and dry that up. Could even use another dash, huh? All right. Tossing some green on the backside of this tree. Make it look like there's a little bit of moss on it. Subtle though. Shadow moss. Also use it to cut back into some of this light that happened here. Sometimes you find these little micro moments on the canvas that the color just starts mixing itself. A little too grassy with that. But there's always a little bit of push and pull going on. It almost looks a little like a sycamore tree now. I kind of like that. It's not an intent. You can see little patches like on a sycamore tree. I could almost even bring those out. That'd be fun. There you go. Happy accident. Right there. A true happy accident. Accidentally made a species of tree. I think because I threw that green on, it had that color variation that sycamores have. Made it look like that. But hey, I appreciate you all so much for hopping in tonight. I have to call it there. Sorry a little bit late, but again, just wanted to hop in, make sure I'm staying on my artwork daily. And just been having a lot of fun with this painting, so I wanted to work on it a little bit more before I went to bed today. But so good to see you, Twisted Fire and Stephanie. So glad you finally made it in. Everyone else, Kirsten, thanks for hopping in. And I will see you Sunday for the next one. Remember, join the Discord, and really helps if you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It pushes it out there. And the schedule is every Friday and Sunday. And we just have to keep the times floating. But whether it's night or morning, I'll see you then on Sunday. And I don't even know what we're gonna do. I have another painting I'm working on right here. It's a coffee shop, and it's another one I'm trying to finish. There we go. Get the glare off. Little kind of like wide angle lens coffee shop vibe going on. There's still tons of work to do with it. There's so many details. Quick work on that. Maybe I'll just want to do something a little more fast. Maybe another storm. I've been itching to paint another storm. But anyway, wish you all the best, and have a great day or night wherever you are on the planet. Take care.